ang Best Public Affairs Program. And the star goes to Open for Business Net 25.
It is a signal to the world that we are open for business.
We are now open for business. This is Cesar Vallejos bringing you yet another episode to guide you in discovering your passion and growing your business as we learn from experts in the field. Sama-sama tayong matuto sa isa na namang makabuluhang usapan tungo sa pagpapaunlad ng inyong negosyo. Ang Open for Business ay mapapanood nyo rin sa Facebook, sa YouTube. Siguraduhin mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media page at Net25 TV. Alamin natin at suriin mula sa mga negosyante, thought leaders at mga personalidad sa iba't ibang larangan ang mga strategies, trends at mahalagang karanasan sa pagninegosyo dahil tayo ay open for business. A tiny spark that led to illuminating a whole industry, starting from selling lamps to providing world-class cinematic lightings. Listen to the illuminating business story of MQ Group, also known as MQ Lightings Enterprises, through its manager for sales and marketing, Christian Ong. He will graciously fill us in on how one tiny spark led them to become a leading industry player in the entertainment and visual industry as they open for business.
Makaka-relate kay you?
Menopause. Meron ka bang nararamdaman ng mga signs ng menopause?
Menopause really happens. In my case, I had a condition called endometriosis.
Miss Corina, ang ganda po ng hair nyo. Ano pong shampoo nyo?
Mapa-senior man kay you?
My apos are here, they're here with me, and they give me such joy. And so, kung hindi ako magtatrabaho, how could I spoil them?
O Gen Z?
Nar is actually an accent from Australia. So like when you say no, you don't say no. They say nar.
Bida kayo dito.
Sumay!
Let's just always choose to be kind.
Kaya ugaliin ang tumutok kung saan masaya at maganda ang simula ng araw. 10 a.m. to 12, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, kada umaga.
In 1987, a lamp-selling business started in Manila and immediately recognized a need for other types of lights that are needed in specialized markets. This crack certainly allowed the light to get in and a light bulb moment happened. MQ Lightings Enterprises Incorporated offered solutions to the film, TV, stage, and theater sectors by providing full-fledged lights, equipment, accessories needed by the industry. MQ upped the game by partnering with manufacturers across the globe to distribute world-class products to the Philippines. More than 30 years later, and now known as MQ Group, they continue their pioneering distribution of lights, cameras, accessories, and other equipment to the industry. Many films and studios have the MQ Group mark of excellence. Here to talk about the little-known industry that supplies our broadcasting needs is Mr. Christian Ong, Manager for Sales and Marketing at MQ Group. Welcome to Open for Business, Christian.
Thank you for having me.
That was really very illuminating. Kasi di ba pag sa industry natin, lalo na sa entertainment, TV industry, napakahalaga nga ng ilaw.
Yes.
So halimbawa dito, mas matagal pa yung pagsiset up ng ilaw kaysa sa actual taping or interview. What is the role of lights and lighting in the overall presentation of a project?
Actually, we get that question a lot from many of our customers, our friends, and all our partners. And it does sound a bit intimidating because this is a very professional industry we are involved in, TV networks, right? If anyone were to hear TV network, wow, that must be a very professional field. We talk about theater, we talk about film production. There's a lot of technical considerations involved. So a lot of people are always thinking this is a very scary industry to be in. No? But actually it's not, it's just about passion. So I always answer them in a very simple sentence, which I actually learned from all of the brands that we carry. I always say it all the time. It is, without light, you don't see anything. Very, very simple, diba? So we see a lot of technologies out there when it comes to lighting fixtures, different shapes and sizes, different features, different controls, but it all boils down again to the essence of lighting, which is to see things. So when we say, oh, how do you light the studio? Of course, we'll just do, there's a lot of technical matters involved, but I know the story is about making sure we're able to see. That's lighting.
Wow, that's very interesting and illuminating. Pero you sound it and you state it very simply, but the way we also observe it as someone from this industry, there's a lot of innovations in it.
Yes.
There's a lot of changes also in lighting equipment, from the material or from the technology that's being used, from how it can also serve or preserve energy or conserve energy, and to the impact to what you wanted to see.
Correct.
So can you give me your take on how it evolved also and the innovations in the lighting industry?
Yes, of course, I made it too simple, no? But this is just a way for me to not let anyone be intimidated in the industry. You know, I always start from the very basic level one.
That's
Right.
right.
You want to see, you need light. But after that, you need to understand now your requirements. So that's where lighting, different lighting products serve different purpose. So for instance, we talk about studio. What do studio needs? Studio, for example, are high ceiling. So we have lighting fixtures that can be controlled on high ceiling, pole-operated lighting fixtures. We also have DMX control systems because if you're in a studio, you need a lot of lights. And you cannot just control it one by one. That's a lot of work. So we have this called as DMX system where you control all of the lights on the DMX board. So there's a lot of factors involved. And not just that, but the nature of lighting. For studio, for instance, we need to have a mix of hard light and soft light. Hard light is to give emphasis on the certain parts of the frame. You want the person or the viewers to focus on the subject, focus on the speaker. So definitely, dapat mas maliwanag ang subject than the background. So we use mga Fresnel, we call it, no, to spot that light para mas ma-illuminate yung subject over the background. Then we have what we call as mga general lighting, mga soft light. That's to help light up the whole place. Not just about the lighting, but we also have to be able to merge or synchronize with the cameras. Cameras also need a lot of light output depending on the sensor size, on the camera specs, features, frame rates, a lot of these things. No? In terms of innovation, I would say all of these things are taken into consideration in how it can be more efficient. So, for example, when we talk about LED 10 years ago is LED different from LED now. LED 10 years ago is you're very happy if you can find a 10 watts, 20 watts LED, no? Malakas na yun for us. Like this is already a technological breakthrough. Aside from that, if you want anything stronger, you need to go for tungsten or HMI. But now, you can now buy mga 1,000 watts, 1,200 watts LED that are cinema grade. When we say cinema grade, is because you cannot just buy mga high output LED in hardware, because one of the challenges of LED manufacturers that they continue to improve year by year is how accurate the light is. When we say daylight is white. In technical terms, in industry, we call it 5,600 Kelvin. So when you buy a 5,600 Kelvin light and you need multiple lights, one of the things you have to consider, are they consistent? Because as we know, when the camera sees light, they're very sensitive. Slight shift in color, mapapansin ng camera yan. And we have multiple lights and different color shifts are involved for each fixture. Doon mo mapapansin na ang hirap mag-white balance ito So those are some of the things that manufacturers make sure to innovate in their lighting fixtures, not just on energy efficiency, not just in lighting output, but consistency and reliability, among many other features but that they also improve on. Like right now, uso ngayon mga Bluetooth apps, for example. So when in film productions, not much film productions use DMX. In Philippines, we use a lot of CAC, we call it. It's a little bit of a joke in the industry.
Which means?
Because there's so much technologies ngayon, Bluetooth, wireless, DMX and everything, but we kept forgetting CAC, which is crew-activated control. So many of the directors, no matter how much high-tech in this industry, we need to make sure the lights are very ergonomic. We ask the help of our crew to be able to set it up for us.
Okay.
So only the directors can focus on what they want to say, the framing, the storyline, and on the technical side, we have a crew that can handle that. So yun, there's a lot of topics to discuss about lighting, but para di masyado patago.
Yeah, well, but similar to what we were doing earlier, you know, there's, I'm sure our cameramen and our crew are very familiar with that, but a lot of people say, or a lot of our viewers would think that, yes, lighting is needed because it can add more dramatic effects. Even filmmakers, TV directors, you know, parang once they see that lighting is bad, you know, they can retake it. Why is that so? And what do you think is your role in the production of content?
So that's a very good question. How lighting can be used to evoke emotions or add drama or excitement on a certain scene can be done using lighting. Because for us in the industry, we observe how we see things naturally outside. So for example, when it's nighttime, of course it's medyo bluish light. When it's sunset, sunrise, medyo warm. And then if it's white, it means it's broad daylight, or cloudy times. If you're indoors, of course you don't expect a very well-lit area. Sometimes you have a source, a light source, maybe a lamp. So when it comes to cameras, they need a lot of light. And sometimes those light source is not enough, yung mga traditional stuff that we have at home. So we have professional lighting to amplify it and recreate those. When you watch a film production, watch a horror film, watch a drama, they have a certain look. Mga horror, sometimes they put the light here, the very traditional style, to illuminate upwards. That helps evoke parang stress, fear. When the light is from here, medyo it simulates parang sunlight, right? If you use hard light, which creates hard shadows, it helps people understand that there's a broad daylight or there's a light bulb nearby, because depending on the light source, you have hard shadows or soft shadows. And those are things that you have to consider as well to be part of the creativity. That is for film production. For theater naman, it's all about colors as well, a lot of strong presence of lighting fixtures and how to focus on the subject on stage. So for example, there's the main protagonist is on stage. Gusto lahat, the director wants everyone to be focused on that one. Sa kanya yung spotlight. And then suddenly the director gusto niya wide view. The viewers has to enjoy the whole setup, so he'll illuminate the whole place. Sometimes there's music, there's dancing, so we want to evoke fun, enjoyment. So there's maybe splash of colors. So those are different ways to how lighting can also affect emotions for viewers.
Wow, you know, that's very interesting. So what I'm getting here, Christian, is that different places, different platforms have very, very specific technical requirements depending on the platform and what drama or situation that will be given. And I can see it clearly now that depending on the medium that you will use, that the technical requirements in terms of lighting will change. Diba? As you mentioned, theater is different, film is different, maybe the studio is different.
Yes.
Okay, so there's really now, like say, some sort of a technical collaboration between the director and the lighting director siguro, tsaka yung katulad ninyo na supplier. So parang there's a lot of, you know, a huge and very close collaboration there. Ang tanong ko naman ngayon is, marami din mga subjects or resource persons or artista na celebrity na they demand also good lighting. One example, I just signed a contract earlier with her. Talagang yun. Parang doon nga nauso yung diva lights. So
Diva
dapat,
lights.
ano ba yung diva lights? Para lang bang maging diva ka? The more diva lights you have, the better. Ganun ba yun?
That is a secret sauce. So only in this industry that we are familiar with, not mga viewers, typical viewers that are not in this industry, don't see it, but we understand it, and that is soft lighting. It's the standard name that is being used for soft light, no? Because people got so used to it, everyone uses it, but it's actually a product. So they have this design where different multiple fluorescent lights are attached on this a certain lighting fixture with barn doors. And when you put a diffuser there, it creates this very soft glow. And that glow is very nice. Maganda siya sa balat. Soft light helps cover up those pores.
I see.
So in terms of camera we use sharpness, right? Make it sharper, make it a little bit softer. Lighting can also somehow influence that. So when you use soft light, models, celebrities love it because it hides all these blemishes in the skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So hindi lang makeup ang nakakatulong pala, pati
Yes.
talagang ilaw. So ito naman, like say, kung mali ang makeup, kayang habulin ng ilaw.
More or less, it does help. Yes. And it's the opposite. Pag gusto mo naman na kitang-kita talaga yung mga pores and everything, especially in US, if you check mga celebrities there, they like to show the textures talaga, kahit the wrinkles and everything. They use hard light naman. It's the opposite. That means it will create hard shadows, increase the contrast, and that's where you see more details.
Kasi sila naman yung authenticity.
Authenticity
so,
naman.
iba naman yung
Yeah.
ay, this is me, parang ganyan.
Yeah, in contrary to K-drama. If you see K-drama, ang lambot naman ng balat.
Tama.
Yung sila naman, hilig naman nila is soft light. So it
Kasi parang,
depends.
tsaka sa kanila naman, sa Hollywood, kasi pag mas matanda ka na artista, mas mahal ka, mas sikat ka, di ba?
Yes,
Hindi katulad pag sa ibang industries or sa ibang bansa, mas sikat yung bata, di ba? Okay. Wow, interesting. So, in the business of lighting, di ba, you mentioned different sectors, different industries where you make use of light. In terms of business, what is the most profitable? Because while reading my introduction earlier, I mentioned, nagsimula talaga kayo sa simpleng spark or simpleng lighting lang. And then eventually, you went into various industries, and now you are one of the pioneering providers of lighting equipment in different industries.
Thank you for saying that. How the company started, if you noticed, our name is MQ Lightings, because we really didn't expect that we'll be expanding at where we are right now. But how the company started is selling light bulbs.
Light bulbs lang
Yes.
talaga.
And we're not even a distributor at that time. So we have this cliche history like any other mom and pop business. We started small. So my parents, Mr. Warren and Maloy, they would usually hand carry lamps from another country, bring it to the Philippines.
So they
Sila
buy
mismo.
it pa. They buy
Yes.
from abroad and they bring it here.
Yes. And in suitcases lang siya. So that's how it started. The reason why they did that, because there was no one selling in the Philippines, so they found a need. So that lamp could be used in studio for broadcast or even for semiconductor and medical. So actually, that's how we also able to expand our connections in the industry and met a lot of friends and clients and partners, because lamp may be something so cheap and medyo negligible siya. It's not high-tech, it's not exciting, but a lot of people need lamps to light up places, right? So we met a lot of people in the TV industry that we supply the lamps to. We met a lot of people in the theater industry. We supplied lamps, even medical actually. So, and film production. So I would say the lamp was the catalyst for us to meet different people's industry and understand what else do they need. So these friends, these partners, our clients, we also consider them as our friends as well because we like to listen to them. Our parents did exactly that. They listened to their clients, understand what else do they need. So they're like, Warren, this is my dad. Warren, bakit naman lamp lang? Sell us the fixture na rin. So, nga sir, no? Pag nandala ba ako ng fixture, bibili ka sa amin? Oo naman. Dami na natin nabili. I'm happy with you eh. Bili mo na yung fixture para isabay na natin sa lamps na yan. Then later on, it's not just lamps, we need stands. Later on, sabi niya, oh, you supply our lights. So why not supply our cameras na rin? Cameras and tripods. Okay sir, sige. I'll talk to our partners, our different brands across the globe, see who can work with us so we can supply you. And then it's all a matter of trust actually. More all about friendship, all about believing each other. And of course, that's not built out of request, no. It's built out of many efforts and many timeless moments that we make sure that we listen to our customers. So I think it's because of that personality of my parents. They're able to meet a lot of people in the industry, and not just that, but built this large brand portfolio now we call as a complete solution for media entertainment industry.
Wow, interesting. Christian here is giving a lot of inputs to small businesses and business owners on how to, develop that relationship and how to expand, which is very insightful, Christian. Now, my question was, in terms of the profitability of each sector, saan medyo mas profitable? Or like say you have a pie and then you have different lighting equipment. What is the most profitable there in terms of business to sustain your company?
Actually po, it's we do mostly by projects, so it's mixed of everything. So it's a bit difficult to quantitate it, but I would say if I were to think of one or two products that really strikes my mind as a very profitable business, this might be surprising because we have so much high-end products, right? Still, at this very moment, lamps.
Dahil?
Because unlike LED, once you buy an LED, you use it for many years. You buy a tungsten fixture at that time, you have to change the lamps every single time, right?
This may repeat customer ka.
Repeats, yes. As long as every user is still using the tungsten fixtures that in their studio, in film productions, they'll keep buying lamps. So imagine mo, every year, since 1987, we've been selling a lot of tungsten fixtures and they don't expire. It works like a tank because we have some really great partners that make sure that their products last very long. So each of these fixtures, since 1987, still working right now, all adds up to that recurring purchases of lamps. So until now, we're very happy with lamps. Even a lot of people don't notice it na lamps, is that still a good business? They say no. So that's an opportunity for us. Okay, this is our business.
Sa amin na lang bilhin.
Yes.
I see. When you speak of diversification, maganda yung sinabi mo kanina na you had diversified because you have listened to the needs of your customers. It's like these are their pain points and you provided it to them. Pero my question is, di ba, when you talk of this technology, and then you also mentioned about your parents getting from abroad, buying them, placing it here. Dito ba sa Pilipinas, in your business, marami pa ba rin na ini-import? Or here in the Philippines, do we also manufacture lamps or LEDs? And what's the outlook? Are you going into that sector where you also get products from local manufacturers and also from abroad?
Yes. I would say most of the equipment is still imported until the time when our country is focusing more on doing R&D. At the moment, kasi what's known for Philippines is service-oriented. And if we look at economics, we're more import-driven than export overall. No? So most of the equipment we still bring to the Philippines is imported to our customers. But if there are mga products that we can cater local, we do. because we like to support mga partners na namin that trying to strive in this business in locally.
Is that in the pipeline where eventually you will also venture into manufacturing?
That is probably a long-term goal. We would love that because that way we have more control in the ideas of our products. No? We can really listen to the customers and integrate it in the product. But for the meantime, we're more on the distribution and project integration.
And where are these lighting equipment coming from?
So for MQ, we don't try to carry as much as any brand only. No? We want to make sure that whatever brand we carry will also reflect our company. Because for customers, it's not about if may nasira yung product, we cannot just tell them, oh, it's because of this brand. The customer will always come back to us, kung nagbenta sa amin. So we make sure all of our products are time-tested products that are considered as a major brand in the industry that are used, well preferred by professionals. So many of them come from US and Europe actually. We have a few selected brands from China, but hand-selected. Those are the brands that we know also put their time in R&D and manufacture products that are not just similar products in the other industry, but something unique. So we have those as well.
Speaking of R&D, Christian, how important is this? Because siyempre, pag sinabi mong ilaw sa karaniwang ordinaryong Pilipino, ang pinagsisimulan ng sunog, ilaw. Yung overheat, di ba? Mga yan, overheating, o kaya yung traditional na kapag naiwan sa pagkakasaksak, ganyan, at saka konsumo ng kuryente. Ayun, dumadaan talaga sa R&D yun. So, what is the role of R&D, and are there, series of reports, white papers that you get that you also share with clients? Kasi sabi mo nga, this industry keeps changing as well.
Yes.
Diba? So, and then because of that, in your case, what you do is you select lang from the brands from Europe and US where baka nga it's more expensive because of the value of the dollar, di ba? Ano yung investment nyo naman sa R&D? Or yun ba ay nagde-depend na rin kayo sa R&D ng mga manufacturers na kinukuhanan ninyo?
At the moment, the R&D is more on the manufacturers. First and foremost, still the distributor, and as a project, we're a systems integrator. But what's interesting is we started the business in 1987. Although there's a lot of brands now coming out in the market, we are fortunate enough to be partnered with many of the global brands that work to listen to their customers. So many of the brands we carry always asks feedback from distributors, including us. This new product, what do you think about it? What did the customers see? What did the customers did not like or wants us to improve on? We always share to distributors. They listen to us. And they make sure their next product will cater to what our customers want. So this continuously happen. No? So we are always in touch with them. Many of the brands we partner with are also, we are in touch mismo sa may-ari ng factory. So more like not just a business partner but as friends. So we can casually tell them, hey, etong product, dapat you have to add this and that. Maybe this one, maybe lessen it or maybe add it more. And then they just, oh, thank you for letting me know. Then we'll make sure to take note of that for the next production. So there's this relationship. So we may not have our own R&D, but we always share our feedback and our partners always listen.
Okay. Now, Christian, pagdating sa ilaw, how do you choose specific product lines that will give you a high ROI without sacrificing then the quality and, of course, considering also your internal cost or your operations cost?
That's also a good question because as we know, branding can also have an influence on pricing, no? But we also still believe, even to this day, that you still pay what you get for it. But maybe there's more premium because of the branding. But definitely, these brands have a reputation to uphold. So they make sure their products are really work as expected. But if you're asking how do we find those more affordable alternatives, but still having that good quality performance na matutuwa talaga yung customer, is as the company, MQ, we always get a few samples muna. We test it ourselves. We check first if it will work really well because one of the things that more of the generic brands do is good performance talaga. But for a week. Maybe, give it 2 weeks. Bakit iba na yan? Bagong bili ko, parang ganda-ganda. They try to find ways to make it look impressive on the first sight. Parang love at first sight. So what we do, we bring samples, we test it, stress test namin yan, and we let our friends, partners, customers to try it themselves and get their feedback. Then before we take it and promote the product, we collect this feedback muna, then we make the decision.
Wow, a lot of things in technology. The changes are very frequent, like say maybe computers or maybe mobile phones, di ba? Mobile phones nga every year yata, di ba? So, gaano ba dapat din magpalit ng ilaw? Kunyari sa studio, iba. Sa house mo, iba. Kung lamps yan.
Yes.
Gaano ba kadalas dapat? Parang may rules of thumb din ba yan na kailangan i-review muna at this certain point yung ilaw mo sa studio or ilaw mo sa theater or ilaw mo sa bahay? Gaano, ano yung mga rules of thumb na kailangan na check mo na para mapalitan at makikita na iba na yung effect?
For household, they're not very particular with light quality naman eh. As long as it's bright.
Sa may ilaw, makita.
So, as long as it's not flickering, hindi na pundi, you don't need to change it. But for our industry, very important is the lighting consistency and reliability. So, flicker, of course, is an important thing. Siyempre, dapat hindi na pundi. But we have to also see the shift. One of the things that LED, most people might not be aware of is, hindi naman yan forever. They will also degrade, but not as fast as mga lamps. Way, way slower. But it will soon. And for film productions or studio, mga media entertainment professionals, some things that you have to take into consideration or metric to find out if it's time to replace if yung kulay niya is not nice anymore. Pag inilawan ka, you're setting it at daylight, and then the cameraman says, medyo pale yung skin mo, maybe nag-shift yung color. Then maybe time for you to replace it. Another thing to consider is the output. It also degrades then over time. How long? That depends on the brand and the product quality. Some LEDs will degrade maybe just 1 week or 2 weeks time. Bili mo ngayon puting-puti, but give it a month, parang purple na. There are also brands that are very good, like mga that we use in TV networks, that we supply to many of the TV networks and stages. Those last for a very long time. Manufacturers advise that they can provide good quality performance for 30,000 hours. But it will stay lit more than that, probably 50,000 hours or more. But 30,000 hours, they always say the quality will still be good. Yes.
Paano yung pagdidetermine ng yung impact ng ilaw, Christian? Halimbawa, is that a call of the technical director or the lighting director or the TV director? Kasi di ba, you're telling me that lighting can be used to create impact or change mood or the change, even the color of the skin or to hide blemishes. Who is responsible na parang, ilaw yan, kailangan palitan nyo na. Hindi, kasi sabihin naman ni cameraman, hindi, ang cameraman, okay yung shot ko eh, okay yung, or
tamang framing naman.
Tamang framing niya. So, how would you, I'm sure the technical people knows about that, but for people, for decision makers to decide, who is responsible for that?
I cannot say one is responsible, no? When we say lighting director, it could also be not them, unless it's really lighting. Because whatever comes out from the video output is a collaboration between lighting and the camera. If camera, for example, hindi naman na white balance ng tama or hindi nakaset ng tamang settings, kahit maganda ilaw mo, it will not look nice. And other way around, no matter how good your settings on the camera is, but your lighting is not properly set up, it's also not good. So I think it's rather than putting the responsibility on one person, it's more dapat collaborative work. Before going live, for example, check muna with the director the final output sa camera. If there's changes on the light, we have to talk to the lighting director to fix it. If it's in the camera, we have to talk to the cam operator.
Wow, there's something very technical but something that really gives us a lot of insight. Pinag-uusapan natin yung how important lighting is, but maybe it's time for you, Christian, to tell us also about your milestones, projects, collaborations that you think made your company create an impact, not only to your company, but for the industry as well.
For milestones, I think the biggest milestone is the continuous moments that we get to meet new friends in the industry. I think that's every time we meet a new friend or client, that's a milestone for us. But what really struck impact on how the company became how it is now, I would say is our big break in 1995, when one of the longest variety show awarded us our very first studio project.
Wow.
Yes. When we did that, that client, we knew that we didn't do any studios yet in the past. So this client, we're very grateful because he believed in my parents. He said, kaya mo ba ito gawin? Wala pang portfolio, wala pa kaming nagagawang mga projects na iba. And my dad just says, kaya sir. And then the client just trusted my dad, and then that became our very first major project. And from 1995, we did a lot of multiple studios in various TV networks from 2000, 2008, 2010, 2014, even up to this day. For studio, I think during this pandemic, we're grateful to do around more than 10 regional studios already. And then we're also grateful for the changes in the industry. If you notice, many companies are building their own live stream studios. That was a new demand during the pandemic, and we were also able to capture that the market as well. And then aside from that, maybe a recent milestone I would like to share is we also did another major theater in Makati as well that just finished last year. And currently we are also rehabilitating a major theater just started last month. Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting, and we hope to also experience, the lighting equipment and the experience that you have.
We're also happy to be the supplier for this studio that we're on right now.
Wow, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Make sure we have good lighting, or else they will lose business. But I think we are. Okay.
So thank you for your trust.
Technically, even some of the celebrities, guests who come in at our studios, and when they see the lighting equipment, they always say, "Wow, this is sophisticated," unlike other studios they have been into. So thank you, for sharing your expertise with us. But I'm just interested with what you mentioned. Maganda yung sinabi mo na there is a new need, there's a new demand, and that's coming from the live streaming industry. Yung live streaming, not necessarily the corporate live streamers, diba? Or live streaming apps, but this could be individual personalities.
Yes.
My son, anybody is now a broadcaster. So
Yes.
are there specific needs or products or solutions that you offer them as well?
Yes. So, but of course, in a story, light is light. It's supposed to make you see things. So, but for these live streamers, especially the independent ones, there are lighting fixtures that are designed for them. And many of the things that we have to consider, these are people who are not professionals. They just started maybe TikTok, for example, different live streaming apps. The light has to be simple and easy to use. It has to be portable. It has to be something that can fit in their condo unit or in their room.
That's right.
So I would say it's the same principle. They need a camera. Sometimes if they want two-cam setup, maybe they have a switcher, they have a lapel, they have lights, but in a more simple, easier to use, and more portable, and of course at the same time affordable. Yeah,
And you have that.
We have that as well. So actually, in the pandemic, we quickly adjusted. So most of our products are very on the top end markets, but pandemic happened, we knew no one will buy an expensive equipment at this time. So we try to find brands, partners that we see are good quality but are affordable, accessible to the public, and that's where we brought in some new brands, partners namin to cater this new market.
Now, your business is B2B, pero may B2C din. So how do you market? You are very young. You also, I'm sure you also use social media. So how do you market this technical equipment?
What's fantastic nowadays is to advertise your business, to promote your business is so much easier now because of social media. So we have the same approach as many others in the industry is through constant advertising in social media platforms and making sure that you're always into the new trends. Because B2C is a different market than B2B. B2B is all about technicals. It's all about compliance, technical requirements that fits the current setup or demand of the studio or stage theater, for example. But for B2C, of course, features-wise is very important, but at the same time, it needs there's a different approach. You need to have endorsers, for example. You need to show them how it's used. Let them know the best part, especially for those that wanted to cater to the consumers. Is of course it has to be exciting. Consumers always like to venture into something that's fun. So different approach naman yung marketing namin dun. So we make sure to take that into consideration.
When we mentioned about the trends and the innovations, ano pa ba ang may expect ng industriya sa ilaw? Are there, di ba, similar to the software development, similar to mobile phones or computer or storage or artificial intelligence? You know, they have to adjust. Baka eventually, baka may AI na rin dyan na parang I want a softer light and then it's the computer that will yeah. So are you ready for that? What are the trends that you think will disrupt your industry? What are these disruptive technologies that you think may change your industry, and are you ready for that?
Yes, I would say disruptive is only a word if you're not able to adjust. If you're able to adjust to the new trends, it's not disrupted, and instead it becomes an opportunity. So right now, for what we see in the industry, we're moving into AI, a lot of software-driven technology. So lighting is not just light, no? So many of the film productions, for example, when they see this new LEDs, they're like, before, on-off ko lang yan eh. But now, ang dami na po rin gawin sa app. So I think that will keep continue, no? More software-driven LED fixtures, cameras becoming faster, stronger in a more compact size. So it's a little bit predictable how the new market will be. More compact equipment with higher performance, more efficient, energy efficient, for example, with LED. And of course, every factory also take into consideration how it also affects the planet. So many of them take into consideration how the manufacturing process nila that could emit the least carbon emission. And every factory is already considering, actually not considering, also already putting plans to make that more efficient.
Yeah, this efforts on sustainability and other things.
Sustainability is the right word, yes.
So, are there plans for MQ expanding soon? Are you going to come up with your own studio eventually?
Not at the moment, but what's in store, I would say, is we do have a new office space that's opening up this year.
Okay, that's great.
Make sure,
I would want to see that and how your lighting fixtures will illuminate that office.
I would be honored if you can join us, yes, in the opening.
Okay, there's a lot of other things that we can talk about lighting and lighting equipment, but what are your tips that you can share with them so that they can also be as they can stay in the business as long as you are? Because I understand, based on this information, you're celebrating your
36th year.
36th year. So to be in this business for that long takes a lot of courage, experience, and a lot of challenges. So ano yung maipapayo mo for some businesses to stay long? But before you respond, I was struck by what you mentioned, that a client gave that trust to your parents, and all that was needed was the trust to make it work. So, sa mga negosyante, kailangan din natin talaga ng magtitiwala sa atin. But the trust does not stop there, di ba? You have to deliver.
Correct.
Because when someone trusted you already and you do not deliver, that's the way for your relationship to end immediately.
Yes.
Okay.
For anyone that wants to venture, for example, in our industry, I'm not familiar with the other industries, but I would say in the media and entertainment industry, it's very important that you keep your relationships strong with your clients. Make sure not to work on projects just for this project itself. Always think about the long term, no? Always think about your clients. Always think about what they need, what they want, and always support them. And it will go a long way.
Okay, that's the best way to end this conversation. This is the marketing and sales manager of MQ Group, Christian Ong. Thank you, Christian, for
Thank
this
you.
illuminating insights and story about the MQ Group. Open for business. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Masyado nang tight ang budget niya. Hindi siya tatagal.
Para lang matuloy ang renovations ng Evergreen Hotel,
Napag-usapan na rin to ng board na ikaw ang magiging general manager. Mahalaga ba ang building number 2? Sobra.
at mailigtas ang ipinundar ng ama.
Yun ang kapalit ng posisyon.
Mapipilitang mag-resign si Andrew.
Si Mr. Chin ang papalit sa akin bilang bagong general manager. Kailangan mo ba ng isang magaling na assistant?
Ikaw, assistant ko?
Maka-adjust kaya siya sa kanyang bagong trabaho? At lalong mapalapit kay Vivian?
Ano bang binubulong mo?
Gusto kita.
My Bargain Queen, gabi-gabi, 8 p.m. Dito lang sa Net25.
Sandali lang.
Ang bratinelang Suji, umalma na naman.
Natutuwa ka talagang paglaruan ng nararamdaman ni Mr. Bong sa'yo, no? Tigilan mo na yan kung ayaw mong mapahiya ang anak mo.
Pero to the rescue naman si Chondo.
Salamat. Si Boram. Nawawala daw si Boram.
Nawawala siya?
Hahanapin ko na siya.
Miss Kang!
Huwag kang umalis. Huwag kang umalis, Mr. Bong.
Pasensya na.
Fail na naman si Suji. Paano na? Illuminate Yowan mode na si Suji.
Fire them. Silang dalawa, si Miss Yang at Yowan.
Unwanted Family. Monday to Friday at 9 p.m. Dito lang sa Net25.
Kamusta?
New job, new life na si Sanev. At si Chan naman.
Ramdam mo bang taon na kayong magkatrabaho ni Mr. Yigit?
Pero in harmony tayo, di ba?
Ay, sorry, nadulas yung kamay ko.
Huwag kang umalis. Dito ka nararapat.
May chance pa bang magbago ang isip niya?
Mahal mo nga ba talaga si Sanem? Sige lang, umalis ka. Pakawalan mo siya at iwan niyo akong lahat.
Daydreamer. Monday to Friday, 7:30 p.m. Dito lang sa Net25.
Open for Business is at the helm, rise or race. When this is all over, the administration of President Bongbong Marcos will be remembered for many things. But one that will truly stand out is the soaring prices of everyday agricultural products that Filipinos became easily affected by. Ngayong 2023, inisipan ng gobyerno ng solusyon ang lumalalang krisis sa bigas, at pagkain. Maraming Pilipino kasi ang umaray sa mataas na presyo ng bigas. Nauna pa rito ay ang sibuyas, isda, asukal at iba pang mga produkto. Ang Senate Bill 2432 ang ipinipresenta ngayon sa taong bayan na solusyon sa kalbaryong pinapasa ng mga Pilipino. Ito ay nilikha para raw magpataw ng mas mabigat na parusa laban sa mga nananabutahe ng agrikultura sa Pilipinas. Habang buhay na pagkakabilanggo at multa na triple ng halaga ng mga produktong sangkot sa pananabutahe ang haharapin ng mga lalabag dito. Ang mga kawani naman ng gobyerno na mapapatunayang sangkot sa paglabag ay pagbabawalan ng magtrabaho sa gobyerno, bumoto, tumakbo sa halalan at iba pa. The bill will repeal Republic Act 10845 or the Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act of 2016. In an interview with Net 25's ASPN, Senator Cynthia Villar stressed that this bill will target not just smugglers but also profiteering, hoarding, and cartel. Senate Bill 2432 creates an anti-agricultural economic sabotage council that will be headed by the President himself or any designated permanent representative. However, Senator Villar says the measure will not be able to succeed if the executive departments such as the DOJ and DILG don't do their jobs. President Marcos said he wants the bill to protect farmers, fishermen, and the everyday Filipino consumer. He is the Agricultural Secretary after all. Despite calls for him to appoint an Agriculture Secretary, he said he was not keen on leaving the Department of Agriculture yet. If that's the case, at least do something. Do more. Redouble the government's efforts and be aggressive in targeting the forces behind this agricultural and economic sabotage. Attending the F1 Grand Prix is probably not a step in that direction.
What's New Tang up to this October? New Tang readies herself to go to the dentist. Impressive! Can she deal with Ben ruining her birthday party? Or become a better runner?
I got 99 points!
Or sell items at the flea market? Number 23. Weekends at 9 a.m. here on Net 25.
Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Any time of the day, it's super saya. Lalo na kung si Ara lagi mong kasama. Magandang araw.
And our buzzword of the week is below-the-line costs. It refers to various production costs that are not included in the budget for a film. It includes pre-production, production, post-production, and marketing costs. We have yet again witnessed another successful business story, a beam of light that shone modestly and became as bright as the stars it illuminates. The story of MQ Group is one for the books as it continues to evolve, keeping itself relevant while staying committed to bringing world-class products that captures every frame, every moment on stage, and brightens every scene or room. And our quote for the week is from Richard Branson. He said, "A big business starts small." Thank you very much, Christian. Maraming salamat sa iyo. Maraming salamat sa isang oras na pagsama sa amin at tunghayan ang isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli dito sa Open for Business. Catch us too on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe and like our social media page at Net25 TV. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen. Feel the pulse and set the trend for as long as you're informed and open for business. Ito po si Cesar Vallejos. Marami pong salamat.